If you're hard stuck below diamond, you've thought, man, my mechanics suck, and that's probably why I'm low elo. You're absolutely wrong. It's these three big mental mistakes that I see every single player make that I've coached before. I've literally reviewed thousands of games from bronze all the way up to challenger, and these three things show up literally every single elo, every single VOD review that I see. They're not mechanical mistakes whatsoever. They're mental ones. They're ways you look at the game. They're the kind of mistakes that really make you go from a emerald level player all the way down to like a silver level player. They make you look absolutely terrible. Guys, I've been challenged for the last 5 years. I hit 1871 LP on the North American server, rank 2, rank 33 in Korea, and I've been coaching full-time for about 2 years. Stay tuned to the end of the video because we're going to talk about the fourth hidden mistake that a lot of people make. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into the three big mistakes first. So the first big mistake here we have is lacking information. A lot of you guys don't process or even acknowledge or, assess anything that's happening in your game. You'll clear your camps, you'll play the game, you'll do anything but process the information you need. And then you ask yourself the question, well, should I go play for the dragon? Should I go play for the herald? Should I fight the bot lane, the top lane? And it's like, well, look, man, you don't have any information. How can you decide where you even want to play towards if you don't have that information? And it's really sad to see because a lot of lower elo players, they aren't stupid, okay? You're not dumb, but you don't have the right habits in place to make you look smart, okay? You will look a lot smarter if you actually process information because a lot of people make the right conclusions. The game has been out for so long now that I know you can do it. We're going to set you up with the right steps when we jump into the first topic a little later on in this video. Alright, the second big mistake people make is they play without a plan. A lot of the time, guys, you need to create a 30-second plan, 1-minute plan, 1-minute 30 plan. And if the 30-second plan falls through, you need to have a backup to that. You need to have a backup to the backup. You need to understand that's how League of Legends works. A lot of times in lower elos, you don't even know what you're looking at, right? Because you're lacking information. And then you don't even know what you're trying to do in the next 5 seconds. And then you're presented with, oh my god, something's happening. Let me go address this. And you have no idea. You have no structure. You have no idea what's going on at all. You're just going with the flow. When you go with the flow, the game looks disastrous. All right, and the last thing, guys, is the sheep mentality. So this goes hand in hand with everything. Because you're lacking information and you're not playing with a plan, you're now becoming a sheep and you're just joining the herd. Oh, I see 9 people here. I see 8 people here. I'm going to go join them. I'm going to join them. I'm going to join them. I see everyone here, so I will go join the group. In reality, the correct plan or the correct idea with the game is you should be back here. You should be doing something else. So because you have no structure, because you lack information, you are by default going to join really shitty team fights, and you're going to ruin your game naturally simply because you have this sheep mentality. Simply because you just don't know how to be your own person. You don't know how to be your own, character that can control and 1v9 the game. Alright guys, let's jump into some examples of what I mean by players lack good information. Guys, it's super duper easy when you're walking out of base to get information, but watch this student simply not gather any information. As he's recalling, he checks the shop, he holds tab for 1 second, millisecond. We're not actually processing anything here. We're not actually processing anything. I don't think it's possible to process much information is in 0.1 second. Okay, and then we come out of base here, and we look top lane for 1-2 seconds. Okay, we look top lane again for 1-2 seconds. Okay, guys, we haven't held tab. We haven't looked at lanes. We look at top lane for maybe 1-2 seconds, but the catch is, this happens over and over and over again, where we're not getting the correct piece of information we want, because we're not looking at the situation longer. So right now, same thing, we're going at a base, we're going to our top respawn, we're not holding tab for check items, and we're not really looking at lanes that long. Listen, guys, you need to understand that there are 4 key pillars of information that you always need to try and process. The 4 key pillars are this, okay? Number 1, it's HPs and mana, okay? Number 2, it's summoner spells if you can. Number 3, it's ultimates. Number 4, it's items. Okay, these 4 key pillars, if you gather the information of all 4 of these things at any given time in a game, you will make better choices. But you need to keep track of them because you need to multiply this by 10. Because it's not just you, it's everyone else. It's everyone in the game that you need to track these 4 things. My student is barely doing HP and mana. Barely. Okay, then you can add more layers, like what's the wave state like? What about their regular cooldowns? What about their intention? Are they aggressive? Are they defensive? Okay, you can get into the more layers, but we need to start here. That's all I ask of you. If you are in the lower ranks, this is all I ask of you. Okay? This student went from looking like this, getting no information, no information, no information, no information, to later on when I started prompting him, said, hey man, you gotta go ahead and get yourself information. After he comes out of base, he goes and look at him. He's walking out, and I'm telling him, hey, hold tab, what is going on with items? What is going on with feats? Who is strong? Who is weak? Is there fighting going on the map? Where are people? What are people doing? What are people looking for? And even as I'm trying to prompt him to do it, he is struggling. So there's a clear disconnect in what it takes to get to a higher rank for people in lower elos. Guys, I promise you, you're probably not that stupid or bad at the game. Promise you that. Okay? I've seen players answer questions that my friends that are challenger players, GM players, like higher ranked players, they don't struggle with it, but they will give the same responses. My bronze student can give the same response as a challenger student or player or friend. How is that possible? It's simply because when you're presented with the same piece of information, the actual answer to the question is not that difficult. The difference is, if I'm bronze, I get this much information, and if I'm challenger, I get this much information, so I can actually get to a good answer as the challenger player, because I'm here. Okay, so what you need to do for yourself going forward is get those 4 pieces of information, and we're going to really quickly talk about how can you do that. So we're going to talk about triggers real quick, okay? So triggers are things like, okay, someone died, get information. Okay, I just recalled, get information. I'm walking out of base, get information, okay? Icons are fighting on top of each other, get information. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever trigger you can find, use them. There's plenty more that I'm not going to list here, like after you farm your camps, like downtime between camp to camp, pinging. If you hear a ping, you can get information. There's so many triggers. You need to figure out what works best for you, what's easy for you to understand and grasp. Now you know what you're looking for. Now you have the triggers. Now when you play League of Legends games, you will make better choices. Promise you that. You will play a better League of Legends game. Alright, let's jump into our next topic here. Alright, so creating plans in League of Legends. Man, I'm not joking when I mean you should have a 30-second plan, you should have a 60-second plan, and you should have a 90-second plan. I am not joking, okay? And not only should you have a plan, you should have a backup for each. So, for example, let's say the dragon is spawning in 60 seconds. Okay, I am going to look for the objective. Whenever an objective is spawning, you can create your plans around that. Okay, so the objective is spawning. 60 seconds. Cool. So the next 30 seconds, what can I do? Let's say I'm blue side. I'm going to come out of base, clear my Gromp, clear my Wolves. That's going to take me 30 seconds. And then I have 30 seconds to prepare for the dragon. Awesome. That's my game plan so far. Okay, but you need to have a backup for what your plan is. So let's say you walk towards the top side, and what could disrupt your plan? Let's say there's fighting here, okay? Do you fight them or not? Let's say your camps are gone, okay? What do you do then? Do you go top lane? Do you go mid lane? Do you go bot lane? What happens when these situations arise? What's your backup plan? Well, think about it simply. We still want to play for this dragon, okay? So even if we're presented with a very weird situation, a very weird scenario up here, we are still structuring our game around our plan to take the dragon. Okay, so even if there's chaos there, we're just going to say, screw the chaos, let's work on getting towards the dragon. Now, the catch to this is, let's say your entire team dies. Okay, you're walking out of base, you try to ping, everything goes poorly. Your entire team dies. That's when the real backup plan comes in. What happens when you can't do the objective, guys? You know the term, you know the concept. Pause if you don't. Think about it for a second. I talk about it all the time. Alright, guys. If you know the concept, good on you. It's trading. Okay? Don't fight the dragon if you are losing on the dragon side. Instead, you should trade. So, you should always have this ready where it's like, okay, so I want to play for this. But if I can't play for this, then instead, I will play for top lane. I will play for something else. Okay, and then you think, okay, after I play for his top camps, am I playing for the top turret? Am I going to my top camps? Am I recalling? And that's planning 90 seconds in advance. And the way this works is you're not constantly doing this. It's too hard. To be able to go bum 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 and just have a plan at all times, I can't do it. Okay, and I've been challenged for 5 years. It's very hard. But there's a point in time where you recall and you look at the map, you assess, you do step 1, or you cancel out the first mistake, which is not gathering enough information. You gather the information, and then boom, you create your plan. Okay, so this is how you put things together. You make your plan 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and then once you recall, that's when you reset the plan. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, this 90-second plan that you have, you can make sure you have like ideas of like, okay, so if I do the objective, if I trade, if I invade, if I do any of these, I know which lines I'm going to take. I know what's coming next. So if I trade, I'm either going to recall after, or I'm going to take the turrets. Okay, if I do the objective, I'm going to fight, and then if we fight, then I'm going to recall after, or I'm going to take 2 camps. Okay, and then I'm going to recall. Okay, and if there's no fight, then I'm going to recall after. Right? So you map out everything. I know this looks like a mess here, but that's what's going on in my head, guys. Okay, if I'm invading the top camps, what am I doing? I'm mapping these out. If you guys want to see more maps like this, more like tree diagrams, where I just like, okay, I have this choice, what's next, let me know. I've never done this before, and this feels really helpful to visualize. If you guys want to see more, let me know so I can do a full video on this. Okay, but that's what it's like to plan and to plan ahead. A lot of you guys are literally queuing up, and you're just like, oh my god, there's fighting here. I'm gonna go there. Oh my god, there's something happening here. I'm gonna go there. Oh my god, my teammate's pinging me. I'm gonna go there. Where the fuck is your plan? Okay, you don't see any chess players have no, like, setup in the mid-late game of chess. They have an early game plan for their opening. They have an idea of how they want to play the mid game, depending on their structure from the early game. And then they have game theory for the late game, all based on plans. And they try to predict what's going on in the future. But for League players, it's just like, walk in a straight line, and if I die, I die. If I win, I win. Alright, and for the last thing, we have the herd mentality, sheep mentality, whatever you want to call it. It's looking at fights and being like, oh my gosh, I need to be there. Oh my gosh, I have to join. Here's the thing. If you guys have watched Step 1 and Step 2, or Mistake 1, Mistake 2, and you understand the depths of those two mistakes you're making, you will see how you're not just going to walk towards fights now and join them. You're going to be more calculated, you're going to be more thoughtful, and you're going to understand when is it a good time to fight and when is it a bad time to fight. A lot of you guys present me with this question of like, okay, when do I farm or when do I fight? And it's like, listen, man, that is all based on the context in the game from information and what's going on relative to the game, okay? Or it's like, man, I'm always late to a fight, or I'm always like, I just don't know if it's a good fight or not. You can answer those questions yourself. You're a good player, like you should believe that in yourself, and if you're not, then work on those skills. Work on your ability to solve those questions. Work on your ability to be like, okay, I don't know if this is a good or bad fight. Why don't I know? Fuck, let me think here. Okay, so it's not a good fight. I thought it was a good fight because of X, Y, and Z reason. Okay, so X, Y, and Z told me that it was a good fight. And then you realize it was a bad fight because you lost, you experienced it. And then you're like, okay, let's think. Why did this go so bad? Oh, I wasn't looking at this item. I wasn't looking at this summoner spell. I wasn't looking at how strong this champion is at this level. I wasn't looking at this power spike from this champion. Try to solve your own questions, guys. You can do it. A lot of you guys are just freaking lazy. Put in some effort, put in some work to try and use your brain. Your brain can answer all your questions. Because here's the thing, guys. In League of Legends, you are there for yourself at all times. You don't really have anyone answering things for you. It's you against the world, like almost always. It's you against the world solving all of these questions and when to fight, when not to fight. Unless you're getting coaching, which you should join the program. unless you're getting coaching, you're not actually going to be able to figure this out with someone's help. You need to do it yourself. Okay? So here's an example of the opposite of the herd mentality is. So right now, I'm going to give the context to the game. Right now, Otacon's coming up in 49 seconds, okay? Our entire team is fighting their entire team mid lane. Okay, I want to go to a tab screen here in a second. Out of base, do we go tab, 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 tab. Cool. So look at our teammate's strength. We have double item here. We have double item in a half. They're all sitting on like one. This guy's 2 items, but it's a Cho'Gath. 1, 1, 1. We are power spec Viego, power spec Caitlyn. Oh my gosh. It's a really good fight for us. So although, yes, the Otacon's coming up, and we could play a natural game doing red, Krugs, Raptors into the Otacon, instead of saying, okay, let's just play for a natural game, what I suggest to the student is say, hey man, leverage your item lead, your item lead and your summoner spell lead, because look at this, flash, flash, flash. Ooh, that feels really good for the fight. That means that their champions who really want to kill the backline have a hard time because Caitlyn has flash, Zyra has flash, and Kayla has flash. So you're gonna be in a really good situation if they fight. And what I tell the students, okay, look, you're really strong. They're kind of low. We're winning trades. Go straight to mid. I'm going to prove a point to you. Just herald and freaking fight. And what does he do? He heralds and he goes and he balls and he kills this guy. He's a little scared. It's okay. He goes in. He picks up the possession and he finally just like, I'm like, go, grow a pair, grow a pair. He goes in and guess what happens, guys? He kills everyone. Right? Like, it's a little scary, but he does end up killing everyone. Look, his ult just killed the guy. Like, is that fair? He's 2.5 items, and that's why. This is an example of where joining the team makes sense, but you're not just joining the team because they're fighting. You're joining the team because you have logic. If you ever find yourself looking at 4 or 5 people fighting, and you just join them because you want to join them, that is being a sheep. You cannot be a sheep. You need to think for yourself. Alright, those are the 3 most common mistakes I see. If you've gotten to this point of the video, good on you, because now we're going to talk about the last key thing that a lot of people don't truly grasp and don't truly understand. And this is something I always mention, and it's something I truly believe is what makes or breaks a good and bad player. It's accountability, guys. Guys, you are the common denominator. Always. Yes, you will lose games because your teammates don't perform well. But no matter what, you can control whether you gain something from a win or a loss. If you learned a skill, if you learned or you built a little bit on a habit, you are winning. You are a winner. Because over time, you improve your win rate, and over time, you'll become a better player. Guys, that is the biggest mistake, hidden mistake that I see a lot of people make. League of Legends is literally a mental game of warfare. It's a mental warfare. If you take accountability for your mistakes, even though your teammate is 0-20, like he's 0-20, like, man, it's like, oh my gosh, my top laner is 0-5, my mid laner is 0-7, my bot lane is freaking 0-8, like, but what could you do better? Seriously. Like, that's how League of Legends, like, that's how, well, I would argue that's how anything in life is. What could you do better? Always. But specifically, if you want to get better at League of Legends, please apply this theory immediately. I do not care how miserable your game is with your teammates. I do not want to hear it. I have been through the exact hell you have been through. I have been that teammate to cause you hell. I have been permabanned way in the past because I had a really shitty mental. Instead of staying bad, staying low elo, and staying shit mental, I worked on myself. I built character, I built attitude, I built good habits, okay? I told myself whenever I see the FF vote, I'm hitting no. I told myself whenever my teammate gets mad, I'm muting them. I told myself whenever I want to type, I'm turning chat off. And I use all these things to now become a much better player to where I am now, get myself these crazy accomplishments, being challenged for 5 years, rank 2, rank 33, rank 2 NA, rank 33 Korea. Guys, follow what works. You aren't any specialer than anyone else in the world. Do what works and you'll get there. Don't be lazy, guys. Alright, if you enjoyed this video of semi-rant, like, you know, I want to assess what big mistakes are, let me know. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and just truly leave a comment down there. Give me your honest opinion, honest take. And yeah, guys, Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.